This is going to be a very sad time for the general public, sort of the end of an era. But what emotions have you been going through over the last couple of months, Charlotte?
I don't feel it's going to be sad. I think it's not the end of Valegro. I mean, he's going to stop competing, but he's not going to stop being ridden. He's not retired. So people will still get to see Valegro, but I think it will be emotional in the sense that, probably this will be the last time they ever get to see him, do a final display. And, I think with what we've achieved to finish it in this way, I think it's fantastic.
And he's only 14 and you're obviously in your prime. I mean, this must have been really quite a difficult decision.
Yeah, I mean, it was and it wasn't. I think, since London, I've had huge expectation, a huge amount of pressure. I think one thing after another, I've won more and more and more. And I think to myself, it's kind of been absolutely incredible to keep winning. I think, after London, I kind of thought, oh my God, I've done it. I've won 2 gold medals. And then it kind of was like the Europeans, and then it was the World Equestrian Games, then it was like another world record and another world record. And, when you keep delivering like that, people then start to expect it. And year after year, it kind of got more and more and more. And I got to the point where I got to Rio and I just thought, I think he's done so much for me, so much for me as a rider. And I felt it was really, really important that I wanted everybody to remember Valegro as the horse he is and being at the top. I didn't want to finish with Valegro being, down in his career, because that's not what he deserves. He deserves to finish at the top because he is probably one of the best horses there'll ever be. And, I owe it to him to finish at the top. So, it could be quite easy for me as a rider. He is only 14 and he could probably go for another couple of years and he could probably get another, few gold medals. But why? Why risk it? There is nothing else he can win. He's won. There is everything there is to win and given me more than I would have ever dreamt of winning. So for me, it is so important that I give him that retirement and to finish at the top. And I think for me that I still have him at home every day. I still can go and see him and ride him, and it's great for him that he's ridden at home now, but he's not ridden in competition mode. He hasn't got to be trained as much as he would for a competition. So I probably only school him 2 or 3 times a week now, and he goes cantering around the fields more, and he just does other stuff more than what he would have if he'd been a competition horse. So for him, his life has it's just got easier. So I think he deserves that.
And bottom line, was it your decision?
Yeah, I made that decision. Carl, I think he would have been happy either way. If I'd wanted to carry on, he would have been happy with that. And, as a rider, I think I had to make that decision. And I definitely feel it's the right decision. I think people will be like, why is she doing that? Because he could keep going, and he could keep going. But like I say, I owe it to him to finish now at the top, and what a better way to finish than to have finished in Rio, winning my individual gold. I mean, you just can't finish any better than that, so that's why I wanted to finish there.
But you must have it in the back of your mind that you could have just been a one-hit wonder with this horse. I mean, have there been any sort of sleepless nights where you've woken up and thought, what am I doing at 4 o'clock in the morning?
No, because I know what I've learnt on that horse. I can do again. Maybe not to the standard I've done with Valegro and not maybe win as much as I have with Valegro, but I know it's still a possibility that I can train another horse up to Grand Prix. I've already got a few horses, 4 or 5 horses along the way, nearly there, and to have that, it's so exciting for me. I'm not losing sleep over the fact that people might think I'm a one-hit wonder, and I'm not at all. I've got another 4 or 5 in the pipeline. I've got the best string of horses I've ever had. For me, it's having that excitement, that another challenge to bring on and come up with another horse for everybody to see. And I really feel excited for Tokyo. I have some really super horses heading towards there, and hopefully I can get on some European teams and some worlds before then. So I think 2018 is going to probably be another year that I'm out there at the top, hopefully, and I think next year I want a bit of a quiet year that I can, just concentrate on all the horses that I've had but not really had chance to come out and compete and do a lot with, because I have been so busy with Valegro and other, the top Grand Prix horses.
And what about beyond dressage? I mean, is there a date set for the wedding, for example?
I knew I was going to get asked that. The date for the wedding, no, it's still not done. I'm going to probably, I just think I'm just going to go off, not tell anybody, and just do it. I think it's been so in the limelight now that I just feel like I'm just going to probably nip away, get married, come back, and I'll be like, it's done. So everybody wants that date, and no, we haven't really set that date.
But what about Dean? I mean, when he held that banner up, did you hug him or did you want to hit him?
Did I? Well, luckily he was quite far away. I only saw him on a huge TV screen, and I was like, oh my God. Everybody was like, have you seen what Dean's done? Have you seen? And I was like, no, I haven't seen. And then as I was being interviewed, they said, turn around and look on the screen. So I did, and there he was with the sign on. I mean, he's funny. I know Dean so well. It's something that he would do. I did find it entertaining, but I think I've been interviewed so many times about it now that it's kind of like, oh my God. I think it's putting me off getting married because I've been asked so much about it.
But he must feel, in a way now, Valegro, the other man in your life, is out of it. How does he feel about the whole situation?
He's been extremely supportive. I mean, he's been absolutely incredible. From day one, I always said to him, when we went on our first date, I said, look, my horses will always come first. If you like it, stick with me. If you don't, you know where the front door is. And, he's stuck with me through thick and thin, through my whole career. He's been so supportive. He's been by my side. And he's really understood what I do and how busy I am and how much I'm away. And I think now probably Valegro is retired, he's hoping he's going to get a bit more time, but he also knows that I have another load of horses that I'm going to be out competing. So he's hopefully going to get it in, that date in, quickly before the next lot starts. So
this is just the beginning then.
Absolutely.
So there's obviously a lot of high-profile riders who are pregnant right now. I mean, is that something sort of in your mind?
Yes, absolutely. I've never been maternal, never really ever thought of having babies and all of that. But I definitely want to start having kids. I think, I'm 31 now and like, oh God, I'm getting old. So got to, I think, start having a family and settling down. So I'd love to start having some kids at some point, but it's just fitting everything in, like I say, I've got, a lot of horses training, so it's trying to find the right time to fit it all in.
So you would be fitting motherhood in around your busy competition schedule?
Yes, and I've already explained to Carl and Alan that they will be on duties of looking after baby whilst one is riding. So they've gone, absolutely no way, we are not doing that, but they'll be roped in, I said to Alan when we go to the shows, not only will he be grooming for the horses, he'll be looking after, he'll be babysitting. So I can't actually wait. I do feel really excited. I think I feel more excited about having a baby than getting married, and I think it's going to be another little chapter.
And have you spoken to any other mothers, who ride like Laura Tomlinson or Zara Phillips about coming back to the sport after having a child?
I think, God, there's so many women that, I think pretty much everybody that rides, every woman that rides has had a kid and done it. You can't, it's not that you can't do it, it's just, I think, when the time is right. And if I have a child, I want to be able to have enough time with my child. I don't want a nanny looking after my child. I want to be able to watch my child grow up and have enough time to be with him or her. So I think it's just finding the right time.
Now tell me, you've got this sort of fairly newfound celebrity status that came after London. What is the most diva-ish thing you've done?
Oh my God, what have I done? My God.
Any kind of bad behaviour or?
No, I don't do bad behaviour.
Mariah Carey moments?
No, can't really think.
Well, okay, what's the most exciting, most glamorous thing you've done since, any smart parties or meeting any celebrities or anything?
I think my biggest thing that I'll never forget is probably going for lunch with the Queen. we had I had an invitation for, there was I think only 10 or 12 of us, so it was a very small number of people got invited to have lunch with the Queen, and I was one of them, and I literally, no other sports people were there, so I was there by myself, and I could not believe I was having lunch with the Queen, and it was the best moment I think it was so surreal to think I was going to Buckingham Palace and having lunch with the Queen. Was just crazy. So it was a massive honour, and I loved every minute of it.
Am I right in thinking she said something to a couple of ladies about you being the best rider or something?
She gave me a compliment, and she said, "Now, you've never seen a young lady ride quite like this lady." So I was like, oh my God, I just got a compliment from the Queen. So yeah, I mean, to be in her presence is one thing, to get a compliment is another, you know, huge honour. And I mean, just being there and having lunch, I was so nervous. I think I was probably one of the nerve-wracking things I've ever done in my entire life. I could feel like, you know, get cold sweats being there, because I was like, oh my God, what do I say? What do I do? Who am I going to meet? Who am I having lunch with? Because they kept it all very confidential. That I didn't know who was going until the day I was there, and so I rocked up, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope I've got someone to talk to. But I did. I found, you know, all the other people very interesting to talk to, so it was nice.
Now you're still basking in the limelight. What any sort of approaches from Strictly Come Dancing or Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, or any dreams to do that, Charlotte?
No, I don't. I think I can't dance, hence why Blueberry does the dancing and I do the steering. So I mean, I'm quite happy to do all of that. I'm not very good. My coordination is shocking for dancing. I think I'm a celebrity. I would quite like to do that, but I'm not quite sure with all the bugs. I'm not scared of, you know, spiders or snakes or things like rats. That doesn't bother me. But bugs, little bugs, no. Oh, I can't cope with that. And eating those awful eating trials, no, I couldn't do that. I did get asked to do Dancing on Ice, but obviously that was quite high risk of injury, so I turned that down.
But you've been in a film recently, haven't you, for Netflix?
I did a Netflix movie, which I definitely found out that I don't want to be a movie star. Like, it was not like for me, remembering some lines was horrendous. And like how many takes you have to do, it's incredible. And I did learn so much, and it's great like to experience these things, go off and do different things. Like, I would never have thought I could go and do a movie or be in a part or take part in a movie. So for me to do it was great.
And finally, you've obviously been here on this yard for a very long time, really for your entire dressage career. Any plans or thoughts about moving further afield?
I've been with Cole, I think, nearly 10 years now, so he's had me from a really young age. He's tortured me all the way up to here, you know. He's, you know, given me huge opportunities, and you know, to work alongside him every day has been incredible. I mean, people would only dream of being me, really, to the fact with having him by my side. And you know, what he's given me is absolutely phenomenal. I think his support as well has been great. I mean, I think looking back at some of the videos with me on Valegro, and just seeing the support, because he's always there. You know, if you look at all the videos, he's always there, and that, to have somebody like that by your side continuously, you know, has been so, like, he's been like my rock, really, to get me through what I have. And I think for me being here, I work so well with him now. We are like the married couple without the extra bits, as you know, you kind of put it. But I would really generally probably miss him if I wasn't with him day to day. I mean, he's my entertainment as well. I mean, he's always taking the mick out of me. He's always making jokes out of me. You know, if we do clinics, I'm the entertainment. So, you know, that is him. He's just always a joy and a pleasure to work with every day. And for me to go away and not have that, I think I get too bored, you know, and I have to do it to him as well. You know, I give him as much grief as he gives me in a way. We bounce off each other. I have to motivate him and get him going because, nowadays he likes to just sit down, drink teas and eat cakes that everybody makes him. And I'm the one like, come on, get up, get on a horse, let's go. We've got a job to do. So I think between the two of us, it works really well. And when you really look at top sports people, there is not just one of you, there is two of you at the top. So I think, the fact we bounce off each other, it works so well and it keeps us both going. And, I don't feel ready to move away and have my own yard yet. So, maybe one day, but he's always said that I can have this place if anything happens, and when he gives up, he'll let me take over here, and he always wants to go to Spain. So he wants to live in Spain. I'll stay here. I'll look after here and run the yard. So it's a really good relationship.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you.